All right. Okay, all right, okay. All right. A left? Okay. Okay, okay. Let me get a couple things. Blah, 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 blah. Boopy doop doop. Beep dap doop dap doop. Boop dap doop deep doop bop. Oh. Beep bop boop. Beep bop boop. Beep. Beep bop. Beep bop boop. Supposedly this should be working right now. Supposedly I am live. This is a supposed reality. There's a very supposed situation going on, being live and whatnot. This is a very high possibility. Hold on, I forgot to get chat on here. Need to get chat into the recording, hold on. I didn't update it yet. There we go. Alright. Annoying Lizard, Cultist, and just some stuff already here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Probably get some more coming in soon. I am in a very happy mood, of which I cannot easily describe. Reason being, yesterday I actually got like a little bit of a notification that I thought was pretty cool. Some people that were here yesterday probably, or like at the end of yesterday, probably saw it. But basically, there's this one guy. It's this one guy called TENNA, who in the Deltarune community is trying his damnedest to try to make a really big Deltarune dub of like of everything. Or like of all the chapters of Deltarune. Anyways, yesterday I got a nice notification from him that I've been accepted to be the voice of the TENNA dude, which I thought was pretty cool. So now I get to play as TENNA, actually in a dub. Ain't that neat? I don't know how energetic I'm gonna be today, but I'm very happy that I like did a whole voice submission to him in order to actually be the voice for TENNA, and I'm fortunate enough to have been able to get the role. I'm very happy about that. This makes me very excited. I don't know how to express my excitement for this specifically, because this is pretty cool. Anyways, that's the thing that's been going on. Congrats, Dean says annoying. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Ender's on here too. Hey, Ender. Hey, Ender, welcome back. Played Undertale a little while ago. Absolute masterpiece. Undertale is so good. And Deltarune is somehow better. It's so great. Colt says we need a voice actor 1v1. Dean versus the voice actor of Reagan Akashka English stuff. I'm not like him. I'm better. I swear I'm better. Mike, tell him. Should have probably actually been TENNA for that, but well. Alright, let's see. Let me get Satisfactory booted up, because that's gonna take, like, a few minutes. Since both are doing the TV, dude. Okay, well, to be fair, the Reagan VA just kind of has, it has, like, some of the, I guess, takes on what TENNA would sound like. I think, like, there are some things that he did that was pretty good. I just felt like, oops, sorry. I just felt like, yeah, like those takes were more of a audition type takes. Like, yeah, here's like a test example of what it could be like, and there's nothing bad against it. I think it's pretty good. Like I kind of liked like some of his interpretations, but also at the same time, I also really like hearing my take on TENNA. So I'm like, wow, I keep wanting to go back to my take. I think I'm pretty good. Where's my... Hold on. Satisfactory, show up! There we go. Alright, this is gonna take a bit, so I'm gonna be talking for a while. I smell a factory, says Sunny. Yes, indeed. Also says I'm gonna be mad at summer school. Just skip the summer. Just skip the summer. It's not that bad. What is happening here, fellows? This Sonic, I got accepted to be a voice actor for this one guy Enna's huge Deltarune dub, which is really cool. And I get to play as TENNA, Mr. Antenna. I can beat the TENNA man at long last, yay! I guess just to show off like the submission that I actually sent in that they got me. Oh, I thought this was really funny, but let me see. Let me see if I can like find a. So apparently, let's see. Apparently, when the auditions for TENNA were actually coming in, there was like, I kid you not, like 100 or so different auditions for TENNA, and somehow my clip, this one, actually got to be in the final 3, and then on top of that, also won by a large margin, which is pretty cool. Now Angel's here and says, "Hi, how y'all doing? We're doing pretty good." Oh, Angel, just kind of cool thing. I got accepted as a voice actor for like a big Deltarune dub project that this one guy. Is it gonna show up? I guess not. Oh well. Discord doesn't want to show up anymore. Anna. Anyway, so yeah, I got accepted for that. That's sick. Anyway, so this was the submission that I sent in.
Stop! Breaking news! Due to your speed, viewer donations have been pouring in, and we have met the special incentive. Yes, the funnel meter doesn't lie. The viewers' voices are in. You've qualified for the bonus round. Pass? You mean stop playing? Well, I mean, if you want to. I mean, it was just gonna be a special board, but all right. Mike, tear down the board, tear down the set, tear down my house, tear down my kids. Audience, you're gonna have to go home. Please, make sure to check out our gift shop. It's got funny whirlies. You'll play? Huh? Marvelous! Mike, rebuild the set, rebuild my kids. We are gonna have a great show, folks. The best ever. And now, a worm from our sponsors.
So, what I thought was kind of interesting, the whole entire reason why I even had all these clips here in the first place was specifically as like auditions for that guy for Enna's Deltarune dub, which I do think is funny that the TENNA clip here amongst all these only got like 800 views or something like that, as opposed to the water cooler one that somehow has 15,000. Why? Heck if I know. But either way, this is still like a wonderful opportunity. Anyways, because I had like 20 or so different clips, I did not want them to go to waste, so I just kind of posted them here just to kind of like show what they all are, I guess. Babble. The hecking babble. Babble.
Blabble. Blabble. Bubble. Bubble. Blabble.
15,000 views! Can you believe it, folks? This is worth 15,000 views! As for why, heck if I know. And then I think second place was like the Temmie one. No, the Star Walker one actually surpassed it at like 13K.
These birds are pissing me off. I'm the original Star Walker.
13,000 views!
The name's Sean.
Name's Sean, pronounced Sean. Can Garrison solo Babble? Ooh, actually, I think that's going to be a close call, Sonic. Babble is quite the character. Anyway, I'll get into like the Satisfactory stream in a moment. I want to like look at
Roaches!
I don't want to look at roaches. Why would I ever want to look at roaches? No. I don't want to look at roaches. Roaches are dumb. I like skip that. Yay. Skip it. Easy.
Look,
Look,
over
it's
there.
the dark
I can
fountain.
see it.
Let's see. I did like I also did like a whole dub of Tennis Fight.
Until now. When the night appeared. The roaring night. And I was told that if I kept you three busy, I can have all the people watch me that I want. And I've been having so much fun playing with you all. I just don't want it to end. So, please, just say it with me, folks. It's TV time! Enough already! What are you doing? I just had the suit de-axed! We're done messing around. Give back Toriel. Now. Alright, I get it. I get it! I really get it. Talking! I've been doing too much talking! No more questions! What you need is another physical challenge! That's right, folks! One last challenge! 1,000 points or bust! Can you do it?
Okay, I'll just do a couple lines here. Let's see. Is this one of them? Oh, okay. Out of all of the lines, I actually personally like this one. The smash cut line. Joker spent 30 points on low damage.
No way we can use that take! Cut! Cut! I said cut! Smash cut!
There's that one.
That damn audience! I gave them so many points to be here today!
That damn audience.
You guys are so
amazing.
good, it's making me laugh! How about we play you a rim shot?
I could like probably go through this for a while, but go check out my voice dub of the final boss fight of Chapter 3, the TENNA fight. There's a lot of really good stuff I did on that. I am very proud of it. There's like other bits that I kind of want to do, but I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm not able to get everything. That's unfortunate. Anyways, is Satisfactory working? It is indeed working. We can actually view the Satisfactory. Sick. There we go. Better than every TV show, says Sonic. It is absolutely the best. Best version of TV that anyone can find out there on the... I just realized something. Would TENNA actually use the internet at all? Like, he could get access to so many people. Although, I don't think so. He's pretty illiterate when it comes to internet-related stuff. Probably just figure out how to get TV working. Anyways, so it is actually about the 11 a.m. time that I said I was going to do some streaming. So, today we're just going to be chilling out in the background. I'm going to be playing some Satisfactory. Very large factory of some description. Hold on, let me see. Where is... I guess some news. A project that I've been working on this crazy thing is trying to get 60 items a minute of all the late game items, and that's the main idea. Luckily, right now, where things are, I actually have stuff ready for the thermal thrusters, which... Shoot, that's in a different document. Oh, hold on. Where's the right one? So, back we go through... Wait, what? What's an email? TENNA said, I think. Yeah. What? What is an email? At some point, I really do want to go through all of TENNA's lines and just speak them, because honestly, I just had a lot of fun trying to voice TENNA anyway. So the mere fact that I've been given the opportunity to do that and it go towards like an actual dub of the entire Deltarune game is pretty cool. Now it doesn't have to sit on my channel and kind of not get much. Anyways, that's really cool. So, let's see. Stuff that's been going on. I did at least get like the turbo motors finished, and also I got the mod engines also finished. I'll show those off in a moment. The things I want to get done today is get the cooling systems in place, and then send all of these to where I have the fused frames, which, in actuality, the fused frames are located like over there at that factory that I'm looking at, right over there. Meanwhile, all the other parts to this are located... I hope this doesn't crash. It does not, thank goodness. Are located across the entire map over here area. So we're gonna have to go flying. Also, I feel like my computer is lagging slightly. I wonder why, folks. Actually, let me see. Let's see if I can, like, lower the... I updated my RAM recently, so now I got like 64 gigs, but even still, it's like... My computer really doesn't like me running this. My computer hates me, folks! UltraGo Fan's here. Hey, UltraGo Fan. I got into a VA dub for Deltarune from TENNA, and that's pretty cool. I'm going to be voicing TENNA, which is sick. Thank you for stopping by, UltraGo Fan. Let's see. Back we go. Let's see. Sorry, back when we thought TENNA was Mike. I think we all thought that for a while, and I think wasn't it only when like TENNA only was there for, or like name dropped like 2 times or something like that, and Mike was said a whole lot, and then it turns out nobody knows who Mike is. Mike is just some imaginary character. That's crazy. Oh, Funny's here too. Hello, Funny. I got to be a VA as the TENNA for TENNA's Deltarune dub, which is sick. You can see more information at the start of the stream, which I think is sick. I am so happy. All right. Focusing on this for a brief moment before I devolve into chaos. I do have fused frames here, of which I do need for thermal thrusters, which is this stuff. All the other parts are going to be made on the other side of the world, of which I will probably need to get a drone port set up to get it over here anyway. Launch! Can't wait to see what comes of it. I can't wait either. I said this earlier, but like, I was probably going to go through all of TENNA's dialogue and dub it all on this channel anyway. So, again, the fact that I can actually have it in an actual dub that many more people get to watch is quite an exciting opportunity. Now I don't have to do every voice. That's sick. To be fair, I'm not exactly the best at managing projects like that. Anyways, here, when I last did the stream, I was working on this area, and this is where I'm making some weird parts called modular engines, or whatever the heck those are. They're just really strong engines, and this whole factory gets it made. And let me see if I can actually get to where they are. They're made right over here, right over in this area. You can see them here. Bask in the glory that is the mod engines. Wait, hold on a second. Is the rubber not coming in? There's no rubber on this belt. That's bad. Why is there no rubber on this belt? There should be rubber. I guess that's one thing to work on. Where did Dean go, says Cultist? Got replaced by yours truly. That's where... No, he's in the basement. He's just chilling out down there. Let's see. I do have rubber coming in. Is it just... Oh, I guess it's just not going through. Well, I guess that's the thing to work on. I need to get this rubber working first. And we're gonna have to take another hypertube train or a hypertube launcher to get there. Let's see. Ultra fan says, is it bad that I'm fine with FPS below 60? I mean, 30 FPS is perfectly fine. I think 30 FPS is like completely tolerable. It's just that when it goes like below 30 FPS is when things get a little problematic, I think. Like right now, I'm running at a smooth 20 to 25. Say the line, TENNA. It's TV time! TENNA Gaming! And other various lines. Coming straight to your ears. By yours truly. Coming straight to your ears. Your ears. Let's see. Actually, can I? Okay, I think I need to probably disable some of these in order to get the thing right. I think I can probably. Let's see. He's groovy and never gloopy, or is he gloopy and never gloopy? He's gloopy and never gloopy. Wait, that's not right. Actually, I'm gonna probably do. Let's see if I can try to do the whole thing. Oh my, can I like pull up the song so I can like sing along to this? Where's the song at? I have it somewhere. There it is. Now time for our feature presentation. Feature. Coming straight to your house. Coming straight to your house. Coming. He's the one. Coming. The king of only. He's groovy and never gloopy. You can't get this from an egg. The sensation of your screen. The shows that make you scream. Say it with him, folks. Mr. Antenna's TV time. Easy peasy, folks. Now, what'd be really great is if Toby provided, like, a version of the song that didn't have the vocals in the background, so we can just, like, easily sing along with it easier. Because as things are right now, it's like the voice there. Oh, well. Let's see, what's going on here? Because supposedly... it seems to be that this train is not moving! Why is it not moving? Why are you not moving? No wonder the rubber's not going anywhere. You're not moving! Why? Oh, I think I see. Let me see. Let me activate or get rid of that really quick. I think if I put in these train signals... Oh, you don't want to work? Why? No, get rid of those. There we go. Look for an instrumental, says Cultist. I mean... Is there even an instrumental for that? Like, I was looking online and I didn't find anything like that, so... Is there... Let's see, Delta Rune... TENNA intro instrumental. Is that even a thing? That's an ad. No. Oh, but that's using like some... close enough. Alright, 1 second. It's now time for our feature presentation. Feature. Coming straight to your house. Coming straight to your house. Coming. He's the one. Coming. king. The king of only. He's groovy and never gloopy. You can't get this from an egg. The sensation of your screen. The shows that make you scream. Say it with him, folks. Mr. Antenna's TV time. All right, close enough. I found it. I found it. I found my music button. Ooh. It's TV time. TV gaming. What kind of variations actually would there be? TV gaming. Swedish Monkey's here and says hello. Oh, hello, Swedish. You are at the beach? That's cool. I'm also at the beach. I have industrialized my beach. Will you industrialize your beach too? I don't recommend it, because the beach kind of doesn't look like a beach anymore. It looks more like an industrial front. Hey! This rubber thing is full. This is actually a problem. Why is this... Is this not producing fast enough? What's going on here? Oh, fuel is an issue. Let me see if I can actually figure out how to get the fuel to be a little bit better. I think that would actually be quite nice, yes. So all this complex doohickey bobber or whatever this is a generator of fuel. That ideally goes to make rubber. For whatever reason, I fuel my rubber with fuel. That's just a recipe. Let's see, it seems to be that there is fuel coming out, but it's just not going anywhere. Is that what the problem is? What's going on here? Now this is even more problematic. It seems to be that everything is flowing at peak efficiency. Nope, hold on. Oh, except that one. That one's not going right. Let's see. We'll just have to follow the pipe. Follow the pipes! Going somewhere. The pipes had to go somewhere! Let's see, is everything getting their resources? Ooh, you're not getting water fast enough. That's actually a problem. Where are you getting your water? I'm over here. Let's see, are you getting your water? No, these are getting their water fast enough, I think. So this one? Yeah. TENNA industrializes the Amazon forest and destroys the world. That actually, no joke, is kind of the plan. Let's see, TENNA, did you check out my pluie mic? You know, I don't think I did. Frankly, I was busy and I forbore. Wait, where... Would you put it in the fan art one, or where did you put it? I didn't actually show everyone. Okay, I'd like to, but I don't know where it is. Oh! Oh, there it is. There it is. I found it. Let me see. Can I get Discord to show me this without everything breaking? I think I would much prefer that. Also, I'm actually gonna put Spamton and TENNA in the corner. There we go. This is like some art that Swedish made. That's not... What? Show the... Yeah, there you go, Discord. Good job. You showed it. It's a Swedish monkey's drawing. It does look really good. I don't know why that showed up, seriously. I really don't. Anyways, that was somewhere that... I guess if you have it up for too long, it just gets replaced by poop. How that happens, I don't know. Let's see. I need to figure out what's going on here, because apparently some water is not going through the pipes, even though it should be going through the pipes. Aha! You're not getting your water. Why is that? Well, you have to do the process of elimination and follow it. You know all these pipes have to go somewhere. Good grief. I'm gonna... I'm almost... you know what? I'm almost considering, just as like a funny bit, trying to replay Chapter 3 again, just as TENNA, and just advertise it like, TENNA plays Deltarune Chapter 3! And then just, like, try to do all the TENNA lines in that. Actually, that's not a bad idea, because I actually do need to get some recordings for Chapter 3 anyway, so I actually wouldn't mind doing that. It has to go somewhere. Okay, let's see. So, like, let's see. My recordings actually, unfortunately, wasn't able to get the gameplay when I first played, which is unfortunate. Why is this running at 75% efficiency? What's going on here? You just not want to use the water? It's probably because somewhere something's not being used. I don't know. Is that... Okay, these are flowing. That's good. I wish there was a way... Ooh, wait. No. I wish there was a way to, like, at a glance, see what's going through these pipes, because this one's also having a problem for some reason. Swedish says, TENNA, should I make some more art? I mean, you can make art. You can very well do that. That is a thing that you have the power to do. I have no control over what you may make, though. You don't have control over what you may make, though. But you can always make art. All right, I think I got the pipes actually running again. So hopefully, I find this kind of silly, at least in this game. I have to use water in order to make fuel for some reason, because it's like I have to dilute heavy fuel or something like that. I don't get it either. It's confusing, folks. But it works, and it gets me a lot of fuel, of which I then use to fuel my rubber plastic production by converting the fuel into rubber and plastic. I don't get it. Swedish says, "Can I have a recommendation?" TENNA, some variation of TENNA. Make it TV time somewhere. There's the recommendation. Although I'm only recommending TENNA because TENNA's on my mind right now. And I am also TENNA, so a little bit of a bias. TENNA's so goated. This is so true. You know what? I think it was love at first sight. Whenever Chapter 3 actually finally did come out, the first time I saw TENNA, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I like how his sprites and animation keep moving all over the place. This is so much fun to just interact with. Wait a second, I can just do that! And then I did that, and now I have an avatar for TENNA. Anyways, I think the rubber is actually functioning now, and also at a reasonable rate. So, you know what that means, folks. We're going right back to the main production plant. In doing so, we are going to make sure that rubber gets connected to the let's see, the modular engines factory, and then once we do that, we'll then need to get like another section hooked up where we need some like rubber parts and then some like aluminum casing, of which I've actually done the aluminum casing a bit. I've been done some of this stuff off camera because frankly it's kind of in a way boring, and sometimes I just don't have enough conversation topics. But regardless, we're gonna go right back over there and getting that fixed up. Hopefully, I'm hoping today we get that super part done, the thermal thrusters. And it'll be 60 a minute, which, for whatever reason, do not do 60 a minute on these items. Otherwise, you end up spending like months or even a year trying to do that. This is me being ridiculous. It's TV world. Anyways, back to the TENNA guy for a brief moment. I still think it's really funny that like most of the time, like how TENNA gets shown off a whole lot. It pretty much is like it pretty much is just like him changing sprites and morphing and changing so often. Which, again, that's just what I do for my little Dean character. That's what I got from my little Dean dude. Where is he? Dean, hey Dean, get out of the basement. I don't want to get out of the basement. Get out of the basement for a second. Oh, okay, fine. I guess I'll be. But like TENNA has a whole bunch of different sprites, and I have a whole bunch of different sprites, and I swap between them all, and I have fun with that. That's pretty neat. TENNA, can you take back over?
No, alright, I guess I will. Fine, I'll be here.
Canadian says, yeah, this game is satisfactory. For now. Is that a threat? Are you telling me that it won't be satisfactory for long? Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. Well, you have to wait and see. Alright, so... rubber is connected. That is great. Now that the rubber is actually coming in, that also means that... yep, everything is actually coming through. It'll be great! Gonna make a TENNA, but original Game Boy Color palettes? I hate autocorrect. Oh, that actually sounds kind of cool. A TENNA in a Game Boy palette. I look forward to it, Swedish. Good luck on the arting. Can you do the pointing thing where he points in both directions? I mean, I have two different images where I swap between going left and right. And then I also have different versions where I can just like shake him. So I could be like, Mike. Let's see.
Mike, rebuild the set. Rebuild my kids. We're gonna have a great show today for you folks. The best ever.
What about the up one? Whoop. I'm pointing up right now.
I am the TENNA man.
I point up. I can point left. I can point right. I can point at you. But I can't point down. That is the only limitation. There isn't a sprite where he points down for some reason. I guess unless you say like he like grovels at his knees, which is like the closest thing to it. Whoa, whoa. This dude has so many sprites, it's ridiculous.
Woo. Hello.
All right, the rubber is coming in at maximum speed, as you can see. Look at here, folks. The rubber is coming out so fast you can barely see it moving. It's just going that fast. TENNA's never going down. That's why he's never pointing down.
What's the point of pointing downwards to failure when you can always point upwards for success?
This has been TENNA's motivational speech. Never point down. Always look up. Or point up. There's always something greater. Perhaps you could one day be a big shot.
Like that sneezy salesman. Yeah, where is he anyway? I haven't seen him yet. What is this creature on my bookshelf?
TENNA, you trapped the contestants and made them play your games.
No, don't you understand, folks? Those were my very willing participants. They were willing to go along with my games, because otherwise they'd meet a terrible fate. Boredom! And they didn't want to be bored, folks, which is why I made sure that they were entertained the entire time. They were doing so of their own free will. Yes!
He's behind you.
He's behind me? Where? I don't see him. All I see is this weird mouse creature. Wait, is that a tiny version of me on the bookshelf too? Why am I up there? What the heck is going on? Never back down. Never give up. Never surrender. Just keep moving forward. Eventually, there's a path to somewhere. There's a path into the pipes. The pipes always lead somewhere. Just go up go up pipes. Never go down pipes, folks. Never go. No, don't wrong warp or anything. Good grief. Okay, I want to focus just for a little bit. For only a brief moment so that I can make this. Okay, the problem that I have right now. For this project, I'm gonna have to use cooling systems here. But in order to make the cooling systems, I need motors. And in order to get the motors, I need to get, well, motors. Unfortunately, the problem with actually getting motors is that I need some more complex stuff. And I do have like a motor factory here. Unfortunately, it's not making motors fast enough. It's barely making as much as it's capable of doing. And in order to get like these weird disky things, I need to probably have like a whole other factory built for these things specifically, which I do not have space for. So I'm gonna have to do something a little different and make a motor factory somewhere else. Actually, what's the motors I'm gonna need? Actually, wait, hold on. While I'm over here in this menu, I'm gonna change the title. TENNA Gaming. TENNA Gaming. Satisfactory chill stream. TENNA Gaming. What was I looking for? Oh, yeah, my notes. Where's my notes? Notes, get up here. Okay, so cooling systems. Where do I have the cooling systems at? Cooling systems, I need 24 blenders for, I need 60. Only 60 motors a minute? That's not that bad. Okay. I do not have stuff set up for that. Or I don't have the math set up for, okay. So I'm gonna have to actually do math. All right, folks. Unfortunately, I will have to access the forbidden arts. Observe. A calculator. We're gonna be looking at motors. Motor, let's see, for this project, I would normally use the rigger motor, but I don't have access to the crystal oscillators at the moment, the weird disc object, so I'm gonna have to go with the base recipe, which means I need like a bunch of rotors and a bunch of stators. Fortunately, I have a way to actually make some of those, but I need to actually do math. Then I have a question for you. Do you like metal music? At least for this TENNA, I'm not a huge fan of metal music. I mean, I think it sounds cool, but I also think it's loud. A little too loud for my tastes. You need to say, oh my gosh, the Chapter 5 leak is so good. Too bad we have to watch the cutscene where Asgore runs over Daz at the end. Oh, do you want to know something really funny? This is actually really, really funny. So, really weird fact. I have a brother. My brother has a very special... So my brother really likes Deltarune as well. However, the problem is that he's been really busy and hasn't had time to actually play Deltarune yet. Which I've always questioned why, but I can kind of understand because the game is really long and he just doesn't have the time for it. So I'm waiting very patiently for him to get done so I can show him the stuff that I've been working on. I've been living in torment for so long. Anyways, he does at least know that TENNA exists. He doesn't know TENNA by name. He only knows TENNA as the TV guy, and I'm trying to keep it at that. Anyways, the thing I'm getting to. He saw the Asgore runs over Des meme and legit thought that it was canon. I kind of had to break my vow a little bit and say, no, that's not canon. That's just a funny joke that people made up, and it went on for way too long. But I still think it's hilarious that he legit thought that it was like a canon event or something. Look at what you've done to the people who don't play Deltarune. Same thing with my brother, lol. Guys, we need to make more out-of-context stupid jokes, so everyone's brother can be super confused. Or sister. I'm not judging. Stupid question. Is there a gender-neutral Sibling. We need to show our siblings the most out of context thing. It is very canon. It explains everything in the lore. Well, it's only a theory right now. It hasn't happened yet. That's what you're all thinking.
Oh, good grief. I am easily distracted. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Motor. I need to type motor in, and then let's see. 60 a minute. Let's see. 60. Divide that by 5. What do I get from that? I'm gonna do quick maths. Can you do quick maths? What's 60 divided by 5? 12? That's a good guess. Let's see. That's 12 assemblers? I think, yeah. Assemblers, and we're gonna have to do... I'll do a math check. Yeah, let's see. 60 divided by 5. It is, in fact, 12. You can't see that. Hold on. It is, in fact, 12. I can math. Yippee. But that's just a theory, a game theory.
Thanks for theorizing. Theorizing? A new word has been added to the English lexicon, theorizing.
Wait, is that like theorizing how much Riz you can get? Theorizing? Shoot. I made a stupid word. No! I'm just as bad as Sans with Clopen. That's unfortunate. Let's see. I still think it's hilarious that, like, for a while he actually thought that the Death getting ran over by Asgore was a canon thing. And I had to explain, no, that's a joke. That's just a funny joke. It's a baldy ah moment. New meme, get the factories running.
Oh, what have I done? I've generated a new meme. This is unfortunate, folks. I have now become the source of a new meme. I never thought this would ever be possible before. But I guess it is.
I'm gonna focus just for a bit. Okay, so let's see, 12 assemblers for that. Let's see, let me get motors back up. You won't be able to see this because it's like covered by my notes, but whatever. Let's see, I need 10 times 12 rotors per minute and 10 times 12 stators per minute. And this is easy math, so 120 rotors and stators. Easy peasy math, that's great.
Me when I theorize my crush.
Oh my gosh. That's 1 second. I need to do something. I have like one key on my mouse that changes. What? Yeah, I have it set to comma. Why does it keep? Oh well. Senna, does your nose count as a weapon? Says Swedish.
Well, it only counts as a weapon if it's used as such. Unfortunately, I cannot be mounted to a projectile flinging device.
You wouldn't do something like that, would you?
You wouldn't put me in a catapult, would you? No way you'd do that.
I love theorizing about Asgore isekai death. I never thought about it like that.
Wait! Now we know what happened to Des in the first place. Des got isekai'd into the Dark World due to Asgore's efforts. No wonder Des is now the Roaring Knight of some sort. That's her isekai OC.
Oh, good grief. So by that logic, a gun isn't a weapon unless I use it? Anything is a weapon. Your fists are a weapon.
It's only a real weapon if you use it.
Or you can just have it on display and just have it as a thing for people looking. That's also an option. Jim. I can't wait to play the Stanley Parable in 7 years. I can't play it right now. I'm on a 10-year hiatus from Stanley Parable. No joke. Okay, math. Stupid math. Let's see. I need rotors. And let's see. So for rotors, I'm going to be using... actually, let's use the steel pipe and wire recipe. Ooh, over here. I don't know where to put my notes so that we can see what I'm... Okay, I guess right here will be okay. Also, Swedish, yes, guns aren't weapons unless used as such. Like I said, anything can be used as a weapon. Your fists are actually count as a weapon too. And because you have the right to bear arms, no one can take away your arms. You have a right to have your arms. And by extension, your legs too. You cannot have those taken from you by any means necessary. If for whatever reason that you've been asked to give your arms and legs for something, that is a violation of your rights. And you know where you should go? You should call Saul. Better call Saul. I don't know where this is going. Okay, steel rotor. This has been taking 10 minutes. Probably. I've lost track of time. Let's see. I need 120 rotors per minute. The base recipe outputs only 5 a minute. So that's... Let me see if I can do the math. That's like, what, 24? I think? Is that 24? Let me pull out my other math calculator. 24! It is 24. Do anyone's better than 24? 25! 25! Alright. It is 24... Is that assemblers? I think, yeah. Assemblers. And that requires what? That requires steel pipes. Pipes... I've been affected by so much Deltarune brain rot, it's actually ridiculous. I'm completely fine with this, but I am surprised by the amount of Deltarune brain rot that I have acquired. Let's see, I need, 10 times 24 steel pipes, and because this is normal math, I can actually, let's see, that will be 240 pipes a minute. Yeah. Oh, Kevin's stopping by and says hi. Hello, Kevin. Welcome back. I am TENNA. TENNA Gaming. Swedish says his phone is burning in my hand. You forgot to do the thing. Reduce your brightness. That, or put it in a freezer. That is also an option. Let's see. So there's the steel pipes required. Canadian says immovable object satisfactory versus unstoppable force teens autism. You know, I've never been tested. I don't think I need to. I don't know, that might be interesting as like a thing, but I don't feel like it's kind of worth it. Let's see, can I math this real quick? This is just like 3 times my last result, so that's what... 720? Did I get that right? Did I get 720 right? 30 times 24 is 720. Yay, I can do math. Guys, I can do math. Ain't that neat? I can math myself in the head. It is actually 720. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I can guess it first. 700. I'm like legit actually trying to figure out if I can math it first before actually checking myself with the calculator. It's always nice to check yourself with tools, but be sure you know how to do stuff first before you use the tools to do it for you. Otherwise, you're just making a machine do everything. Let's see. Fun fact: 90% of #1 rated salesmen, circa 1997, quit before they become a big shot. Actually, I want to see if I can actually do that.
Fun fact! Did you know that 90% of #1 rated salesmen 1997 quit before they become a big shot? You should become one today! Become big shot! And at your most recent convenience.
Test your math skills? I have been testing my math skills playing Satisfactory in general. Alright, so with that, I at least have the steel pipe and wire requirements for the rotors. Let's see, I need to also do that for the stators. Reason why I wanted to do the steel pipes and wires recipe, there is a different one where I just use like screws and screws and rods. This one's easier just because the stators also use pipes and wires. That's what I'm working off of. No quotes here. Hey, quote. Welcome into the stream. I'm currently trying to figure out how to math my way to victory. What's 50 times 24? Let's see. I'm trying to actually math that. That's like... $1,200, I think? Is that 1,200? Did I math that right? 1,200! Yay! I mathed 50 times 24. Yay. Let's see. Let me focus just for a moment. Let's see. Stators. I need 120 a minute. 120. Divide that by what do I need for the stators? What's the rates? 5 per minute per, which is actually the same as the rotors one. So all I have to do is carry that over because that's kind of the same thing. Assemblers, wires, and let's see. So that's 10 times 24 steel pipes. And 40 times 24... Let's see, 40 times 24 wire per minute. And now to do some math. Let's see, so if we look at here, it's 15 times 24. I'm going to multiply just 10 by 24, and I get 240. Now I multiply 5 by 24, which I'm going to round up really quick. So let's say that this is 25, just as an example. 5 times 25, because that's easier to multiply in my head, is 125. And then we subtract 5 because I added 5 to that equation when I multiplied everything. So then it should be 120. Right? No. No, 220. Is it 220? Did I math that right? Incorrect. It's actually 360. Why did I get that wrong? Oh, because I didn't add 120 to 140. That's what I did. So for the 10 times 24 is 240. And then the 5 times 24 is 120. So then I added those together to get 36. That's how it should be. Okay. And that's where math doesn't work. And now how I get better. Disney says, oh my gosh, it's TENNA. It is TENNA! TENNA is currently taking over the stream. And the TENNA guy, it's TV time and somewhat. It's TENNA Gaming. Coming. Hello, Disney. Welcome in. I'm trying to do math in Satisfactory. And I'm succeeding, but also failing at the same time. So whatever. Here's a fun math question. What is 40 times 24? Okay, simplifying this down, 10 times 24, and then multiply the result by 4. So that's 240, multiply that by 4. Which 4 times 2 is 800, 160, 960? Is this correct? 960 is 40 times 24? 960, yes! 960. Wooey. Holy pain. Yep, Alright, okay, this is good. So I have that. No, bad math. What? But I got it right. It's not bad math if you get it right. Maybe if it's inefficient. But it's efficient, so it's fine. Okay, so total requirements. Total requirements for this is 240 steel pipes plus 360 steel pipes, which is exactly 600 steel pipes. And 960 plus 720. What is that? That's let's see, 1,680? Is that 1,680? No, not... Let's see. No. Not, okay, not 720 times that, no. 720 add... Is that 1680? It is 1680. Cool. I at least am able to math things. 680 wire per minute. I'm almost done getting my numbers down. Okay, so for this... So that's for the steel pipes, and I'll have one more here for the wire. Let's see, so 600 per minute. And 1680 per minute, and now I have to do a little bit more math. Here we have some sticky explosives to give to the local wildlife. I actually have some pretty cool explosives. I'm gonna get sidetracked for a brief moment. I'm rewarding my focus with some stuff. All right, you guys want to see a cool explosive? There we go. Here's my cool explosive. Kaboom. Ain't it beautiful? I have a bunch of these. I'm kidding, sidetracked. I really need to get back to my math. Okay, just one quick thing.
Mike, the light show, please. Thank you, Mike. Mike, the explosives, please.
Is that a TV-shaped character in front of my screen? No, I didn't pay for cable.
You paid for the internet. Unfortunately, I have found my way on the internet. This interesting fellow named Deanspillabean has taught me all the ways of the internet, and now I can be surprised at all things possible. I connect to you straight from the internet. Ain't that neat? No cable required.
Anyways, back to actually doing math, because I need to actually do that. So, steel pipes. The pipes. Luckily, when it comes to steel pipes, I don't need steel for them. I can just use iron pipes instead, which is basically just straight using iron for the pipes. It's at a much less efficient conversion rate relative to having steel pipes. However, I have a lot of iron, not a lot of steel. So this will be okay for now, I think. I don't like how my math is looking already, and I haven't even done the math yet. Ugh. This should be fine. This should be fine. I have spare iron somewhere. This should be fine. Okay. So 600, divide that by 25. What do I get from that? Let's see, that's 6 instances of 4, which is 24? No, that's not. No. Yeah, 24. Is 600 let's see, 600 divided by 25, is that 24? It is in fact 24. Cool. Alright, so that's 24 constructors. Okay, and how much iron am I going to need for this project is the question. So, requires... And it's 100 times 24, which is... 2,400? 2,400 iron ingots per minute. Did I do my math right? I keep double checking because I just want to make sure I can check myself here. Let's see, 10 no, not 10. 100 multiplied by 24. Oh! I missed a 0. 24,000. Oh, no. Some reason in my calculations, a 10 got multiplied in there. That's wrong. Somehow my calculator didn't... Okay, there we go. 2,400. It is actually 2,400. I just put it into my calculator wrong. I almost had a heart attack there. If I could do some Morden crimes, please. I need to go through my recording because that actually is a funny clippable moment.
Mike, the light show, please.
That actually sounds funny. I want to make a short off that now. That's hilarious. Alright, so... that's the iron I need. That is actually really good. I have that iron ready, which is great. Next thing here. I need... stuff.
What is this TV-shaped character in Paper Cape?
I read that again, shoot. Okay, so wire. In order to make wire...
Why are you doing that?
I need, I can either use electrum, or caterium, sorry, in order to make them. I could use copper, of which both of those I want to save for different computer projects later on. And I have a lot more iron than I do copper or electro, so I'm going to have to use iron wire.
Inefficient, but whatever, it works.
Let's see. So 1680, divide that by 22.5. This is going to equal, I don't even want to do the math on that, honestly. I could probably do that if I, like, worked it out, but that's, like, really small division stuff. Aha, and that is why. It ended up being, I kid you not, 74.6666 repeating. And that's the amount of constructors I need. That's a lot. That is just a lot. That's gonna be annoying. Oh well. Oh well indeed. But, let's see, so... requires... let's see, so 74.667... just round up to 75. I need it to be exact! Actually, I don't really need it to be exact, but I'm going off of this because things get weird if you don't do the math right. I wish I was kidding, but things get weird if I don't do the math right. That is all. Let's see. Multiply that number by... let's see. 12.5? Ugh, 12.5 per. Can I even multiply that in my head? Oh, that... it's at least over 1,000. I don't feel like... I hate decimals so much. 74.6667 repeating. Multiply that by 12.5. Is approximately 933.33 repeating. Irons per minute. So that's cool. Total requirements. That's not how I spell it, but whatever. Is... let's see. 933.33 repeating. And add that to 2,400. Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. The total ends up coming out to 3,333.333 repeating iron ingots per minute. I find that funny that it ended up being exactly 3s. That is funny. Okay. I now have the numbers. That's great. Okay, so now that I actually have my numbers, I'm trying to actually get this working. So we're gonna make a motor factory. Where do I want to put this? Oh, as for like where my iron is, I actually do have like a whole factory over here for iron. It's actually right over here. This is like why I made the base of operations here. It's I have like a bunch of refineries. They take a bunch of water from my my drone port Amazon factory that just transports water to the entire world. Not joking. And sends it over to all these crates. So this should actually be, because it's like 100 or like 1,200 iron ingots per line. So that should be able to satisfy it. And I need probably just 3 lanes worth. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make whatever I'm doing here with plans of using 3 lanes worth. I'll work with that. Where do I want to put this? Because this is going to be large. I could I could scale up and go into the stratosphere, which I could probably do. Or I could go kind of on the ground into some other odd area just so I can have some more room elsewhere. Sweetest drawing with this crappy laptop is so annoying. Yeah, get a better one. That's an ignorant response. I mean, there's worse things to do. You could try to draw with pen and paper. I mean, I know it's not like a thing that some people might want to do, but pen and paper is pretty good, honestly. I've done it myself. Only problem is that you can't undo things and you get like pen ink or graphite on your hand, but that's like the only problem. All right, I think I'm going to be building this here today. Right. I need to stretch for a second. I'm going to do my stretching animation. This is definitely me stretching. Ooh, I'm flying into the sky. Woo! Wait, actually, can I get like above my? Come on, can I get higher? Higher. Yeah, I guess that's as high as I go. Oh well. Right, the plans. I have actual plans that I do want to do at some point, and I kind of do want to go over those in terms of like video creation. Of course, some things changed a little bit because of like the voice act thing that I suddenly became a part of, which is sick. But still, I do have plans that I want to do on my own because it's just stuff that I'll be doing anyway. TENNA Gaming. It's TENNA Gaming. Yes. That's the title of the stream. But let's see. So plans for future videos at the moment are I want to... Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure I know what I want to work on. Okay, I want to work on the constructors for the wire first, so I'm probably going to need to make a bunch of stuff. Actually, I don't want to make like a giant box. I could make a giant box, but I got time. I got time, definitely. Right. Let me do some quick math. If I overclock all the constructors, I'll only need 30. I'm gonna do that, I think. So just 30 constructors. All right, so the plans for what I'll be doing soon. So main video project that I have going on at the moment is I want to actually get a State of Dean video out because I feel like that I haven't actually been making those for a while, and I want to make it anyway. Just to kind of throw out an update on stuff that's been going on my end, and also just kind of having it as a focused area to look to in terms of what kind of projects I'll be working on, as well as just like I guess like my overall thoughts. Yeah, how is Dean? That's a good question. Dean, get over here. No. What do you mean you don't want to be on set? This is your show. Well, sorry, folks. He doesn't want to come up at the moment. Oh well. Anyways, we're gonna be having a video on that, showing off what Dean actually has plans for. Let's see, other projects that I do have. I gotta think about this. Shoot. Sorry, we're drawing a blank. So long time ago, there was a video project that I wanted to do that was just me reading off the B-movie script. I said that I was gonna do that at some point if I reached like a certain milestone of money that I gained on my Ko-Fi, and I did, and I haven't done the reading yet, which is really. I kind of feel like I kind of meh on that, but I do want to actually do that just so I can get that goal out of the way. And it's like, yep, I actually did the goal, yippee, and then I can say I can try to work on different goals after that. I currently have like no idea what kind of like stretch goals that I want to reach. Like, oh, if we reach a specific donation milestone, a thing happens. I don't really know what I want to happen in that case. It's just kind of like, if it happens, it happens, I guess. Mike, activate the Bergen truck. Bump, 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 bump. Little does he know, I've actually removed all the trucks from the vicinity. There won't be any Bergen trucks on me. Let me... Come on, there we go. So yeah, State of Dean video coming out, as well as finally getting the long-awaited, by like 3 people, B-movie script video. Fun fact, some people, I was just in a Discord call with some people that were on the stream, and they thought, you know what would be really funny if you did that? And I was like, ha, only for like $1,000 or so. Ah, then let's do it. And then I set up the whole thing for it to be $1,000. That would be cool. And then I realized, actually, that's gonna be a while. I'm gonna reduce it down to 500 for reasonability's sake. And then I did that, and someone donated like $200 to me, and there was like a bunch of other donations. I eventually got like the special, reached the special incentive kind of thing. So I want to actually do that and get that over with. I do have like ideas for what I wanted to do for the video anyway. So all I have to do right now is literally just sit down and read the script. It's in could you play the Winter's cover on Cat Swing? The Winter's cover on Cat? No, I don't think we have that. We do not have that in the database. We can only play songs that we have available to us. Finally? Yeah, finally indeed. To be fair, around the time that I actually got reached the goal, there has been some like stuff going on. There's like real life problems that I did have to deal with at that time that basically meant that I couldn't actually do the project as quickly as I wanted, and then like other stuff came over, and then I like wanted to take May off in terms of just having a break. And then Deltarune came out, and that blah, 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 blah. It's on SoundCloud. I just don't want to play it right now, Swedish. Or ever. I won't say that I'll ever play it. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, look at these constructors. Aren't they constructing? They're not constructing. We need to fix Let me double check. What did I need for iron? Okay, only 900 for the wire. All right. Imagine Chapter 5 being delayed. I honestly don't think Chapter 5 would be delayed. Because I think they wanted to get it out with Chapter 3 and 4, but it just didn't end up that way. Because they were working on 5. And we kind of have, like, no info on what 5 is at the moment. Besides it being, like, in the light world. And that's all we got, I think. Anyways, other plans that I got right now. I also want to finally get my 1,000 subscriber milestone video done. Which, for those that don't know or want a refresher, I reached 1,000 subs. I said when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I want to go through like a big Word document that I have of, or it's like a large list of a ton of different people that have joined on my streams or chatted in my comment section or I've just met over time. And I just wanted to name them all off, and that's the idea. So, some point over the next week or so, I want my next video projects to very much be that. The reading off the B-movie script project, because that was kind of a donation goal that I haven't actually worked on yet, so I should probably get to that. Can't wait for that, says just some. I can't wait for that either. I want to do it. I think I need to go through like probably a couple more of my streams to make sure that I got everyone. There is like, I think once I actually get to like up to date, I'll try to just finish it off, but I'll have to wait and find out. Justin Olive says, "Do you have a big factory for all the items you need to pull?" Yes. I have a lot of factory stuff. I have like a lot of stuff in storage. I've been working on this world for like over a year, and this factory isn't all of it. Ah, shoot. I should have saved before I opened up my map. I forgot that my world is so large that if I open up the map, it crashes. Shoot. Oh well, I haven't lost that much progress. But yeah, Justin, thank you for joining on the stream. Trying to get 60 items a minute for all the late game items. That's like the main project goal. I've been working on this for like a year, and I'm getting close to the thermal thrusters part. It's too good for your computer. I find this hilarious that, like, my computer can take the world being loaded, but, like, a map that shows a bunch of different icons? No! It can't handle that. No way, Jose. Let's see, other stuff. So, yeah, State of Dane video coming out in a week or two. Hopefully, alongside with that, I want to get the B-movie script reading off, because that was a goal. I want to get that actually out, and to say, yes, we actually reached the goal. We've reached the special incentive. We should do it. And I haven't done it yet, and I should be doing it. And also getting the 1,000 sub special video done as well, which is getting pretty close to getting into production. So that's nice. Other than that, I want to get those out of the way, just so I can, get those out of the way. Projects afterwards. I do have plans for, like, afterward projects. How much time did I lose? Oh, not that much. I just need to get these foundations out of the way, and I think that's fine. There we go. Oh, we didn't get these ones either. Okay. No. So in terms of other video plans or projects that I have, I do want to go through the rest of my Deltarune streams and get the get like the Chapter 4 supercuts done, as well as trying to do like a secret supercut as well. Ideally, just going through, getting the best bits, my best reactions, and then boom, Bob's your uncle or whatnot. We got a highlights reel of some of the cool moments whenever we're playing the chapters. I want to do that because I'd actually like to have a highlights of when those things happen. Also, just practice for like editing down hours and hours of footage. I just want practice for that. There's also video projects, like just TENNA voice acting ones. I want to do a bunch of TENNA voice acting projects. The next thing that I want to do for TENNA is like the TENNA crash out scene when like Susie, Chris, Rouse don't want to play the games anymore, and TENNA's like,
You must love TV. You have to. That's the game that you're playing.
I want to do that whole scene next. Although when I'll actually get that done is probably going to be a while, because I'll most likely be busy because I'm working on the other stuff. Oh well.
Queen said, I don't want to load that map in the game. You're cringe.
Wow, I can't believe Queen called me cringe. Did you do the introduction already? Yeah, I did. I did like the beginning of Chapter 3's intro already. Honestly, I feel like I'd rather kind of redo it, because I've gotten better at voicing that I kind of want to, like, just kind of want to redo it. But honestly, at this point, I might actually wait to do that. Actually, I thought about this. Since I'm actually going to be a part of that large Deltarune voice dub, I might, well, I don't know. I might, I was thinking on, like, holding off from doing some re-recordings until then or something. I'll need to think about that. Or I guess I could get ahead of the game and just, like, do all the recordings anyway. And just like, everyone else, you're all working on recordings. I got them done months ago. I wanted to do this project on my own anyway, and now I get to be a part of a dub. Ain't that neat? Honestly, that's the one thing I'm very happy for. That, like, I actually feel like I'm gonna make the like these voice recording or voice acting of me doing TENNA for a purpose, because it actually goes to a big community-made dub. That would be very cool.
It's not your uncle. No, it's just a saying. It's a thing that you say. Like a saying.
Let's see, I need to get iron hooked up. You look like you can spare some iron. You have spare iron. Let's see. I also have different theory, like theory projects that I kind of want to do for Deltarune. They're still, like, very much a work in progress, because I still have, like, some ideas that I want to, I guess, piece together, I guess. It's taken a while to state that I'm okay with, is the problem. Because I feel like every time that I try to make anything like a Deltarune theory video, I just keep getting stuck in the cycle of, like, talking about literally everything, and it makes it difficult to actually get a video out, because what's the point of reading this? This entire thing is just a massive rant about the lore of Deltarune. Why not something more specific? Oh, that's a good point. Was the stream lagging, or was it just me? I think, let's see. It might have lagged for a singular second. That's the best that I can assume. Mike stutters sometimes. Mike and his connections. I don't know. I've been having, like, weird internet problems lately, so I don't know if there's a weird stroke. Anyways, some theory videos that I have plans for. Main one that I had an idea of that I wanted, or, like, started out with. Also, I'm just probably going to go and talk about my whole theory videos, and I mean, I might be able to get them out as an actual theory video in a more focused manner. that's just to kind of hope, but at least I can get these ideas out there, and you can benefit from these in some shape or form, hopefully. Maybe, I don't know. I do want to make an actual theory video at some point, but I don't know when I'll get around to it. Alright, so we start off where it all began, where I wanted to answer the question of, why are we here? Why are we the soul playing Deltarune? And that was the question I wanted to answer. And that has led me down a rabbit hole of insanity, because how else are you supposed to solve an existential question? And I've kind of come to either a realization or, I guess, kind of like thinking about stuff. So, supposedly, from what I can figure out, Mr. Good Old W.D. Gaster really wants us to do something of some description. That much is, I think, clear to me, clear to everyone here. Some time ago, there was a video made by Molly Stars called The Device Theory. The entire theory is basically that Gaster made the device that connects us to the world of Deltarune, and that's the theory. And they somehow stretched that video and... Wait, what? My vehicles are deadlocked? Ah, shoot, not again. Oh, shoot, not again. Hey, did you know that trains actually reset themselves if I purposefully crash the game? I find this funny that I just have a crash button. Anyways, so, Gaster wants us to do something. I've been trying to figure out what that something is. That's been difficult to find out because it's kind of difficult to find out what a Eldritch entity actually wants us to do. Especially when he never says what we should be doing. At all. Which is kind of weird. So, why are we here in the first place? Probably for whatever, some reason the Gaster wants, maybe. Or it'd make more sense if he was like, you need to find the eggs in order to win the game. Or you need to find the thing, you need to do the thing. But no, he just gave us like nothing. So either he just never gave us an actual objective, and he's just like, we got this world you could go into. I think it'd be interesting if you were a part of it. Have fun. And that's probably like just the only reason. It could be. It also could not be. Okay, so thinking about... it could just literally be that Gaster just wants us to experience the world of Deltarune, and that's it. Or maybe he wants us to fix the prophecy, or break the prophecy, or something like that. Although a thing I kind of thought about is, I feel like, after looking at how the game is going to be... or how the story is looking at the moment, I feel like the prophecy is just going to break by default, which is really weird. I mention this because Susie is a part of the game, which Susie has consistently broken everything about the game. Like any logic that the game shows is like, yeah, here's like the fundamental law of the universe. Except Susie is completely exempt from it for some reason. This is a fundamental law of the universe. Susie is exempt from the laws of the universe, which is a little odd. Let's see. I need 1,000 Skinner Wire, Minnesota. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm just making sure that I get this stuff set up correctly. Well, that's because Susie is Susie. Yeah, Susie is in fact Susie, just so. It's like in a weird, like, metaphorical way, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, I feel like the prophecy is going to break by default, so I don't exactly understand why we're here. And I thought, and this is also where the good old theory that I had, the canonical timeline theory, came into play. Where I thought about, like, what would happen if the player was just never involved with the story whatsoever, and everything just kind of happened canonically, you could say. Kevin says he might want to see what happens for the world to break. That'd actually be kind of interesting. Like, I wonder where the limits are in this. Yo, okay, he's a game tester, and we're like the beta testers for whatever story that he wants, and we're like finding all these glitches in reality or something. Anyways, yeah, the main purpose of why we're here. We do not have a purpose for why we're here. We're just kind of here for some reason. And I guess there's that. So instead, I tried to figure out, like, what would happen by default. And if we can figure out what would happen by default, then we can guess, like, oh, the player is here so that they can do this action specifically. But I did some research, and it kind of seems like there isn't a purpose for the player being here. I mention this because everything just kind of happens normally. Like, it just happens. Even as far as like, actually no, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, because the game is split up into different sections, like Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, a thing that I kind of thought about that could be an option is that if you start the game in different chapters, like you start in Chapter 2 without Chapter 1 data, or start in Chapter 3 without any other, so on and so forth, what's to stop you from just starting in Chapter 7, like right from the beginning of the game? Canonically, if the only thing that you ever done in your game of Deltarune is go directly to Chapter 7, that means that, like, Chris and the Fun Game just had their entire adventure without you. And because they had the entire adventure without you, all of the plots and twists and turns and whatnot. My vehicles are deadlocked, damn it. Oh, the game actually autosaved, so let me see if I can actually see where the crash happened. Where? Some stuff is not working. It's probably because some trucks don't feel like moving. I need to redo my whole system there because the trucks just don't want to move when I tell them to move for some reason. Why? I don't know. Okay, all that's coming into here. That's cool. Look at that wire per minute count. Look at that wire per minute count. That's nice. You can't see any numbers, but the number is going down. Very fast. Very cool. So, back to the actual theory idea. So because we, in the grand scheme of the story, aren't actually that important, maybe we're only important enough to make a difference in Chapter 7? Because there's nothing that happens afterwards. We're assuming that there is no 8th chapter, of course. So if there is no 8th chapter, and Chapter 7 is the ending of all endings, then maybe our entire purpose is to be there for the Chapter 7 ending and do something very specific. And be there for that one specific instance, and that's like it. And that's like the only required thing. All other endings end up with everything being plunged into darkness. At least that's what I think. Because like anytime that whenever you actually lose the game and you don't come back, then Gester comes up and says, then the world has fallen into darkness, or something like that. So by the end of it all, the world was plunged into darkness. Maybe the roaring happens and then we have to deal with that somehow. Let me check one thing. I need a bunch of constructors. I need 24 constructors for the iron pipes. I could probably just overclock those, so I only need 12. I'll do that. Okay, so six per row. Okay. Then the world is covered in darkness, says Astro Sands. Yeah, basically. Also, hello, Astro Sands. Welcome in. Oh, also, to some of the new people that came in that probably don't know, or I feel like they're bragging, but I got casted as a voice actor for TENNA in a huge Deltarune dub by Anna. I think is how you say his name. It's a big community effort to make a huge dub of Deltarune. Anyways, I got to beat TENNA. That's sick. I found out about it yesterday. All right, enough shilling on that. So the main, back to that. That's what I think is going to probably happen. Where all in all, we're not really useful up until that one moment. Now that being said, I also think there is still like other stuff that we can do, because if we are actually, wait, if we are actually like trying to be a part of the story, we can do more things. And this is also why I wanted to play the chapters without save data on my first playthrough. Like on chapter 3 and 4, I played without any save data, because I wanted to see what would happen by default. And what I found was kind of interesting. Or I guess it's just more like confirmation on what's going on. In that, not every... we could reroute it. Maybe. What do you mean by reroute it? I don't know. We're purposefully trying to reroute the story is probably what you're saying. Okay. So Rich on Dean's server, you got all the bunch of netherite. Oh yeah, you got a bunch of stuff on there. Okay. Trying to actually focus because I get distracted easy. So by default, you don't actually have every recruit recruited in the game, which I thought was kind of interesting. So not every single Darkener that you can find in Chapter 2 is recruited into your castle town in Chapter 3 or 4. So this effectively means that by us being a part of the story, we have the option to somewhat change specific outcomes or allows for new things to happen. So far, our main choices are who we choose to recruit, who we choose to fight against, and either not recruit or lose entirely. How much stronger we become, what kind of actions we do in fact actually change the outcome of events in the game. Which I always think is just interesting. Hold on, I need to check something. Do I need... Oh, it's only 600 a minute. I don't actually need these that far apart. Oh well. I'll do this. So you can recruit everybody, fight everybody, some mix of in between. We can also get the secret bosses if we want to, like that's an option. We have the option of trying to make Susie's heal significantly better in Chapter 4. Which I just want to point out really quick. I absolutely love the story plot of Susie's healing spell becoming stronger as she gets like more accustomed to it and more willing to use it. I absolutely love that like subplot. I really like how it is, and you actually have to practice with it so it gets better too. Oh, it's just chef's kiss. It's so good. Let's see. Let's see, when Chapter 5 comes, I'll try the same things as Astro, but, did you play with your saves after? I did, let's see, currently, in terms of, like, what I've actually done, on stream, I did a violence playthrough where I fought against everything and kind of see what happens there. Honestly, it wasn't all that interesting, besides, like, TENNA getting kind of beat up. And maybe some like dialogue that was missed, but most of it's honestly the same, which is kind of frustrating. I think also the main thing that's different is like Jackenstein dies at the end of Chapter 4 if you fought everybody, because nobody's there to catch him when he falls down from the tower, if for whatever reason it happens. Probably need to check if you can do that safely though, even in a fight playthrough. But I haven't actually streamed a recruitment route yet, and honestly, that's probably because I was just super tired, like super tired. And then there's also TENNA. If you finish the game beating up TENNA, TENNA just is like super destroyed. Still kind of there, but wasn't able to get repaired. Other than that, honestly, there wasn't really that many changes, I guess. Changes or differences. Actually, maybe that might actually be a nice idea. Try to stream Deltarune, like. Okay, the idea I had was to actually go back through and play through and do the recruitment route again. I kind of want to play through again. I think I do have a recruitment route save. I think I'm probably going to do that. So it might be worth just, like, replaying for that reason. I somehow haven't actually seen what happened in Castletown to recruit everybody yet. Ain't that neat? Okay, so the theory that I wanted to talk about in the first place, and that I've realized while I was just like talking to myself endlessly and figured something out of some description that may or may not be useful, and that is how we interact with the UI. Because he knows what happened. Don't tell me. I'll probably find out anyways at some point. Okay, so how we interact with the UI, I think, is different or interesting. So what I'm talking about is whenever you, as the soul, get asked a question and then a dialogue box shows up and you get an option of what you can choose. You can either choose the this option, the option in front of you, those kind of options. I was wondering, where do those come from? If they come from anywhere. And this has only really came to mind or been called into question in the first place because of what happens in the weird route. So I don't think I'll actually finish the weird route playthrough. I think I was just too busy and I had too many other things to do, so I wasn't able to finish the stream for it. I'll still experience it though. But let's see. So in the weird route, in Chapter 4, in the light world, 0% bitrate. How did that happen? Hello, am I back? Hello? Hello? Video, are you working? Okay, I think it is. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties, folks. I need to actually have a technical difficulty sign. I should get a word from our sponsors and just put word. Okay, back to the actual theory thing. I'm trying to keep on track there. So, where was I? UIs, okay, so in the weird route, what happens, spoilers, obviously, is Chris and Noelle get into a conversation during the Noelle holiday household. In that moment, there is, Noelle asks a question, which actually ends up prompting a dialogue box, of which moves your heart out of the vents and onto that out of the vents and onto that dialogue box. And if you press the yes button, you get out of the vents and into the surrounding area. And if you press no, you go back into the vents. This is rather concerning because how exactly does that work? How the hell can the soul just leave with the UI? Which is weird. Weird. Astro Saints thing, I think it's because Snowgear routed the entire thing of Snowgear that you only need Noelle to kill the Dark Knight. Soul manifests as a red soul. When we try? Was in the stream. I'm just kind of going over what happened. Let's see. I'm gonna post the Game Boy 10 in Discord now. Ooh, I'll check that out in a bit. I'll actually check that out in a bit. So I mentioned why the UI should be called into question because of how that actually happens, and also what happens when Susie asks a question to you and prompts a dialogue box, and it just becomes like a pink box. So here is the theory that I think is going on. I think that whenever Gaster made the whole connection to Deltarune, he was the reason why a lot of these dialogue boxes come up. Or at least that's what I think, because our soul interacts with the UI. The UI was made in such a way that we can interact with the world. The UI is a part of the device. To me, that makes sense. So how the dialogue box options come up is a little questionable. It could be, in my opinion, Gaster saw the future and just made dialogue boxes to fit any question that was being asked. And because he saw every future, he can say, oh yeah, this here's like some options that won't change the outcome, but maybe like shift things in a very particular way. We won't deviate too much. We won't deviate too much from like the base game. Their choices don't matter anyway. However, Deltarune is not actually a game. Deltarune is a world, and we are able to interact with it in weird, mysterious ways.
So what I think happens in the weird route is that we're going down some very strange loophole of events that's only possible because of Noelle for some reason. That was not accounted for by Gaster. Or perhaps if it was somewhat accounted for, he didn't go far enough with double checking to make sure that that hole was plugged. Or the other thing that I think is going on too. Oh, Shard's in chat. Hey Shard, welcome in. We're talking about Deltarune lore. So something I think is also going on is that Chris has canonical answers to some questions, which is also why some questions you could say stuff and Chris would say things either like in a very excited manner or upset manner, depending on what you would pick. And I think that one of the options that comes up whenever those dialogue boxes come up is very much one of Chris's options. So in the weird route, because those dialogue options never had been play tested, there's only Chris's other options there. Been posted at the same place as Blue. All right, I'll check it out in a moment, Swedish. So let's see. So during the weird route, I feel like the only other options that ever come up is because it's either Chris trying to course correct about what's going on, or the other option, the proceed options, the equip option, the other options with Noelle, which is just kind of weird. Noelle and Snowgrave in Chapter 4. You might want to put that one. I'll think about that, I guess. So here's an idea that I have. I think that something else, a third entity, you could say, has found this loophole and has done something quite mischievous, and has planted some options for you to pick. Perhaps knowing that we are pretty curious, and also I also absolutely believe that the Red Soul that we play as is the same Red Soul from Undertale, because the only reason why you're here is because you played Undertale, right? Probably. The only reason why you're playing Deltarune is because of that. So you're the same Red Soul from Undertale. No matter what you did in that Undertale game, that's just what you did. So what I think is that some third entity somewhere of some description, some third faction, a third entity could be at work. I'm going to call it the Demon. And not to be confused with Kara, who calls themselves a demon. No, this is just like something else for the sake of me. Just third entity is Gaster. Oh no, something else. A third entity, as in like Gaster, Chris, and something else is a part or like taking control of the situation. We're just kind of there, I guess, but I think there's something else. It could be a third entity, or it could just be like something else entirely, who knows, that has seen the options that have been laid before us and sees, hey, wait, there's a loophole here. I have an idea. I'm going to manifest a reality by going down this weird route. Oh, the weird route. Oh, it's super scary. The weird route. Ooh. And then Chris's options, the ones to say that it was all a prank or something like that, are Chris's attempts to course correct everything, which of course isn't working particularly well. Let's see, I need to make sure I'm doing my math really quick. 24 symbolers for rotors and stators. Okay. What if Chris is giving us options? Well, okay, giving us options to abort the route, I think, which is evident after you actually go full on with like all of the proceed options. If you go too far with it, at the end, like that one scene from Chapter 4, Chris throws you in a trash can and beats you up, as if to say, I can't believe that you would do this to me. Why would you ever do this? You're making me go through this. This is stupid. I hate you so much. Oh, hi Asgore. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly normal. I'll be okay. Or at least that's what I think. So Chris isn't the one giving us those proceed options. Something else is. Also something else. I also think
that for us to actually pick the options near the later end of the conversation with Noelle, Chris just kind of starts giving up in providing ways out or ways to abort the route. Either something happened and Chris just cannot control her body anymore, or Chris just kind of gave up. Some version of that. It's genocide frisk is? I mean, probably. It could be something that's. I mean, I would call whatever this thing is the demon, just because that kind of fits in like some of the lore of Undertale. The demon that comes when they call its name. Not Kara. Not Kara though. Or maybe it is Kara. I don't know. Chris will deny us. And then we will need a new host eventually. Probably. I have no idea how far Chris is willing to go with having the soul in their body after what happened. Like, if I was in Chris's situation, even if it meant certain death, I'd probably just kind of completely discard the soul. But no, he kept it in. Or they kept it in. Why did Chris keep the soul? Even after all the things that happened. This is very strange. I think we would probably need more information on, like, what the soul even is and what Chris uses it for. It could just be as simple as that they needed to seal dark fountains, and because a lot of the plans that Chris, Carol, and the Knight probably need revolves around the soul and being able to close fountains with it. Probably can't give it up. Maybe. What do you mean? Why did I get a probably? That's like me being goofy. Yeah, probably. I don't know. If I don't think about things a lot, I just say probably. So what did you even say? Is Jennifer's given the dialogues? I mean, okay, on that, I say probably because we don't know exactly what this demon force is. It could be the same thing that comes up during the Geno run. Although, to be fair, okay, actually thinking about this, in Undertale, I personally don't think that anyone, like, set up these options and said, oh, you're terrible for picking these options. It's just Undertale is a video game, and your choices actually do matter, and your choices shape the world as they change. Deltarune is different because the whole world has already been decided, as in fate is already sealed. There is an entire prophecy that will say exactly what will be happening. And we have the choice of doing what we want for it. Undertale is different. There isn't exactly a prophecy, or I guess there is technically, because there is like the Deltarune prophecy where the angel will come from the heavens and free us all, that kind of thing. And then Garrison would say, oh, some say that's probably like the angel of death or the angel of mercy or something. But you have the choice of how you want that to go about. But your curiosity makes you want to go in any. But your curiosity wants to do whatever options are available to you. Let's see. These are all for the. Oh shoot! I forgot. I need to actually. Oh no! I shoot! I already have stuff. Okay, I thought I did stuff out of order. Okay, so conclusion. That's coming up. The UIs of Deltarune are canonical in the sense that Gaster has actually allowed these UIs to take place. Gaster has at least accommodated us with a UI to be able to interact with this world. For what reason? He probably thinks it's really neat and wants us to be a part of it. Or there's something really important that we really need to be there for in Chapter 7. Who knows? Josh says hi, Tenna. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the stream. I'm just at the very end of giving my, like, theory idea. Let's see. So because of how the UIs work, something, somewhere, of some description, I'm going to call the demon for now, because that's probably the only name that works really well that we have to go off currently. has found some loophole in the system and has tried to exploit it by saying, oh, there's like this instance where a question is asked, and how the game interacts is that when questions are asked, this dialog box comes up. And it seems to be, what if I try to... There's like some of these questions that don't actually have an answer for some reason. What if I like snuck in and gave the player some new options? And thus, we go down the weird route because of these options. Now, is the weird route a part of the prophecy? Is another question that could be asked. I actually don't think so. Or it could be like an interpretation of the prophecy, and it seems to be a loophole to getting around the prophecy is just completely reinterpreting it to an insane degree. That seems to be what we're doing a lot. So this reinterpretation ends up resulting in Noelle becoming part of the prophecy as opposed to Susie or something like that. And it ends up working out, but Ralsei doesn't know anything about this. This is not how things are supposed to happen. Because numerous times Ralsei is like, wait, what? That's not what's supposed to happen. Too many times. And Ralsei knows what's supposed to happen. And is very perplexed at why any of this is happening at all. Like, oh wait, no, you were supposed to do this, is what Ralsei says. What do you mean we were supposed to do that? That's weird of you to say, Ralsei. What the? No, I crashed again. Goddamn. I didn't even open a map this time. That's unfortunate. He says, or Noelle could always have been a part of it, and it could be a lot worse. Actually, on that, I do think Noelle was supposed to be part of the prophecy, either that or Des. But for whatever reason, Susie has the incredible ability to just not give a crap and break the rules and make up her own stuff and keep it rolling. So I still feel like the prophecy will be broken by default, and that's just because of Susie. Now, here's the thing that I want to point out. The UI interaction that you have with Susie after the Weird Route scene in Chapter 4. The scene where everything just turns pink and everything freezes for a moment. What if, in that instance, for whatever reason, the dialogue box just glitches out? It could be that like the dialogue option came up there, and Chris, being so defeated, didn't feel like posing an option for it. But also the system didn't have that one in place either. As in to say, Gaster didn't have that as a dialogue option for you to interact with, and nor was the demon able to predict that this would be a thing to interact with either. That is to say, Susie is operating on her own free will during these interactions, completely independent of whatever hijinks or lowjinks that whatever eldritch entities are a part of this world are saying that are happening. Susie is completely independent of all of that. Chris could have just gave up. I mean, probably. Most likely, honestly. But the main takeaway is that perhaps at some point Susie will just become the answer to Chris's plight. Like, wait, what? In this one instant, everything breaks? Why to Susie? This is strange. And somehow, some way, Susie will probably become like the Weird Route's final boss, or I still think we'll have to confront Susie at some point. It makes sense. Although how exactly the confrontation happens is questionable. But it will very much be Susie comes in and says, hey, that's not how things just... Something's possessing you, Chris, isn't it? Don't worry, I'll get you out of it, or something to that extent. Ooh, other thing. Perhaps if for whatever reason the demon or the soul tries to do anything to Susie, and it just doesn't work. Like for whatever reason, whatever control aspects that either the demon or us as the soul have tried to do to Susie, she just completely ignores. Which is interesting, because that's like a weird fundamental bit of reality that Susie just ignores whatever whatever other people say and just makes up her own rules. Which ain't that neat. Even in the darkest timeline, Susie still has a say in how things happen. Although, how Susie will actually end up reacting to the entire Weird Route situation is unknown. Because by her very nature, she'll probably do something completely different. But I think that's what's going to happen. Susie will have some confrontation with us. There will be some attempts to control her by either the demon or us, but they will all end up being fruitless, and it's interesting that only Susie's immune to whatever, like, control or trance effects that are supposed to be happening. Anyways, that was, like, one theory that I had on the Weird Route, and I want to make a video on that at some point to better, like, focus my thoughts on, instead of, like, being this really long 30-minute, 40-minute segment on a random stream on a Satisfactory game. But I'm busy. So at some point I want to make that into a theory. Susie was never supposed to be relevant, says Dizzy. I think I do think that is actually what's supposed to happen. Like, Susie wasn't supposed to be a part of this adventure, yet she was somehow. Although that being said, Rouse did recognize Susie, like, right off the bat, so maybe she's not supposed to be relevant, but it's just like, oh yeah, this is just the thing that's going on. Minecraft 121.8 what? Hold on, what? Minecraft 121.8 came out? I just updated the server! God damn it! Did they add in the copper golem yet? No, it's just another hecking hotfix. Good grief. I like Minecraft, but I'd like for them to, like, not update that frequently. But I don't mind that they're updating stuff, but this is so annoying because now everyone has to update their mods and all their resource packs and get everything transferred to the new version. They don't make it easy to, like, update everything. Like, oh, here's a new version, here's the new default. What? What do you mean the new default? Yeah, now I have to change everything in order to accommodate for this new default. It's just kind of aggravating, I guess, updating everything. It's nice that these changes are happening. I just wish it was a smoother update than having to make sure that everything's not breaking every time an update happens. At least it ain't Nintendo. I guess. Let's see. Anyways, what about that copper gold? Okay, hold on. Before we go into any other conversations, I do want to actually talk about another thing that I thought about. So, along with the canonical timeline theory, one thought that I had was, what about whenever Chris actually plays piano during the Chapter 4 scenes? Aren't we required to go find these things out, or do they just find the prophecies out on their own? Like, they just eventually find stuff out. Which, it could probably be the case that that they just find stuff out for themselves, and they didn't need our help to figure out like the answers to the prophecy piano puzzles. But here's a thing that I thought about that was interesting. So in Chapter 4, in the Noel holiday household scenes, you can go see Chris actually playing on the piano. And something I realized is that the very ending song that Chris plays at the very end is actually the same song that's played on the massive organ in the in Chapter 4, like midway through Chapter 4. Like, it is literally the same song Like, the last song that Chris plays on the piano in Noelle's house is the same song, literally beat for beat, that is played during the prophecy segment. Chris can play piano, Pog. This is true. But because at this moment, canonically, they shouldn't know that at the time, but they know how to play that section on the piano. So I kind of wonder if Chris also knows the prophecy. Because I think it's kind of hinted at that, that like Rousey knows all the prophecy stuff, which includes like the, it was a tones conundrum, like the big super tones conundrum thing, which is like tons and tons of different notes. I wonder if Rousey knew it, because Rousey was like, hey Chris, let me play it. I know it. And then Susie came up and said, hey Chris, you can do piano. I know you can. I believe in you. And then Chris was able to play piano, and that was cool. But now it's a bit concerning, thinking about that Chris actually knew that song beforehand and didn't need the sheet music either. Which to me says that Chris knows the prophecy. Which also makes sense, I think. Oh man, it would suck if I hadn't played the game yet. How have you not played it yet, Dizzy? I've been talking about it for like the past forever. To be fair, it is a very long game, and I actually have friends that I hang out with that I can't talk Deltarune about at all, and it hurts a lot because I know they would really like talking about it, but they haven't played it yet because they've been busy, and I've been sitting in torture. Ha 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 ha. And this is an outlet for me. We're getting to a part where I can actually have motor set up. What do I need for this? Oh, only 6.4... No, wrong thing. Where is... 12 assemblers. Okay. I have it. I own it. I have played it. Ah, okay. I was really worried that I spoiled everything for you. Sans dances with your mom at the end of Chapter 4. Confirmed. Confirmed lore. I still think that's so stupid. Anyways, okay, that random thing, kind of wondering, like, maybe Chris does actually know the prophecy, is just, like, an idea that I had. I wish I kind of knew more stuff to talk about for that, but it's hard to tell what Chris knows, because, I mean, we play as them the entire game. So it's just hard to tell in general. Although I do solely think that Chris does know the prophecy. If like knowing the piano codes was enough, I think. That's why I still hate Snowgraves' Snow. Me personally, I think it's very interesting that the weird route exists. I don't want to play the weird route because I think it's very weird. The only reason I would ever like look into anything or do anything weird route related is very much because, I wonder what happens here. Oh gosh, that's the thing that happens. Oh, that's horrible. Wait, why does that happen? That's confusing. And then theorizing forever. I don't like the weird route very much. Let's see. Are there any other, like, random theories that I could just, like, spout nonsense about for a bit? Is there anything else I had as, like... I think there were, like, other ideas that I had, but they never, like, got anywhere, I think. Or not that they didn't go anywhere, it's just, I probably need to, like, think about it a lot more. But, the weird interaction with how our soul interacts with the UI is something that I've been thinking about a lot of, because that was just like an actual conclusion that I came to. I'm like, wait, this is a possible thing. This could probably be lore relevant that the UI is diegetic and that it's breaking at the seams. Whoa, everything's breaking. That's so cool. I can't wait to see how everything breaks. Maybe very easy. Maybe easiest thing. The weird route is just everything. everything breaking. Like the game itself just breaks at the seams, but it's not just the game that's breaking. Actually, no. The game itself is not breaking. It's how the UI interacts with the world, and by extension, our connection to the world that is breaking. The world of Deltarune actually is completely independent from how the game works. It's just how we interact with it is different and what options are presented. And because our presence is very weird, it causes weird events. At least that's what I think. I need to really make a video on that at some point. Okay, other news. I have motors built. All that process. I was able to get motors built. Ain't that neat? I have an entire process here. That is very cool. Next step that I need to do, I don't need to make like massive amounts of stuff like this. I need to get these motors connected to another section of the factory. And then have it connected to a bunch of blenders. There's some nitrogen in there, some rubber. And then afterwards I'll get cooling devices. When I get cooling devices, I can, I'm gonna probably package a bunch of cooling devices and, or let's see, package a bunch of cooling devices and some other stuff onto a drone and then send that all the way across the entire map. As for fuel, I would normally use plutonium power, but I'd rather keep the plutonium over at my drone port instead. Let me save really quick, because I know I'm probably going to crash if I open this up. Crash. Oh, wow, it did crash. That's funny. Wow, ain't that sick, folks. I can't open my map unless I crash. Eh. Anyways, if I can get that done, get all those parts over to where I have the fuse frames, which shouldn't be too difficult. As for where my power source is going to be for the drones, because I need like batteries or fuel, I do have like a battery factory nearby that's like close to my my nuclear reactor facility. I can just probably siphon off some batteries from there, because I think that area isn't using all the batteries at its disposal anyway, so I'll probably just use the batteries. So I'll cut them all on a drone port, send them over to the desert factory, and then get... actually, how many manufacturers did I need for that? Or what did I need? Thermal thruster rockets, I just need 60. Which I think if I run everything at like max speed, I might be able to just put down like 20 and it work out. No, 25. Yeah, I think just 25, and if I just like run at everything at max. Because I don't want to build any more of these like big bricks. Okay, so open up the map and not crash. So we'll send like drones over to here. This is where I have like the fuse frames that I need for the project anyway. And then make a factory somewhere over there, and then that project will get finished. Alright. Conversation topic, because Dizzy kind of brought up the new Minecraft hotfix.
New hotfix in your area. Local hotfixes within your vicinity.
Anyways, it's a completely useless update that only fixes like a couple things. Me personally, I'm a little annoyed that Mojang only does like these tiny hotfix things. I wish that they find these in testing, but that's just game development. Stuff like that happens all the time. I'm just more annoyed of the fact that I have to do an entire profile reset every time, because I use Moderinth as like a Has like a mod control system. Let's see. Actually, I might as well just like put these motors into here, and then I can actually siphon that off. Yeah, that actually would work out, because I think there's going to be like an overamount. There's an overamount already. That's sick. Ooh. Anyways, so new stuff that's coming out into Minecraft I'm excited for is the new Copper Golem. Woo, Copper Golem. That's so cool. What does the Copper Golem do? It puts stuff in chests automatically, and that's actually pretty cool. I've been waiting so long for something like that to come up, and for whatever reason they decided to take eons to do it, and now they finally have done it. And they'll eventually do. Good grief. We're just waiting very patiently for them to actually release an update to add that in, which is taking a while. Okay, quick thing, problem came up. Not making refined plates fast enough? What's going on? Should be making refined plates fast. Yeah, you have them. Do you not want to make refined plates? Maybe, okay, there's a bunch here. Hold on, I'll talk about Minecraft in a moment. What was the problem? Okay, so Minecraft. Copper Golem's coming out. Whenever you have a golems in, or let's see. You can make stuff. What is... Oh, yeah, this was the problem. Let me follow this. Oh, it's not getting iron plates for some reason. Swedish says I'm gonna leave now. It was fun being on the stream. See you, Swedish. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed it. You have a good day, Swedish. Bye bye.
One of my vehicles are deadlocked.
I can't believe it, guys. They're playing Deadlock. Are they just not getting the iron plates needed for some reason? Why not? Alright, so the new features that are coming up for Minecraft is that. Oh yeah, the new thing that did come out was like the happy ghasts, and I'm happy that those ghasts are happy. Like, that's pretty cool. But, oh my gosh, my stream's like, why? No. Hello, check 1, 2.
Mike, the internet, please. Mike, fix my Ethernet cable.
Supposedly, it should be running smooth. I don't know what's going on there. What's going on here? Are you not getting the parts that you need, or where are you going? Anyways, Happy Gas got added in. That's pretty cool. I like the Happy Gas. I think it's a really cool alternative to the Elytra in terms of moving around the place. I think that's pretty cool. Why isn't this... This is just not making enough for some reason. Oh my god, everything is getting deadlocked. That's so annoying. It should be making a good chunk. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna overclock it and call it a day. There we go. So, let's see, some Minecraft stuff. What are my thoughts on new Minecraft things? I think it's cool. I can't wait for like some of the new features that they'll probably come out with eventually. It'll be nice. Okay, Dean. Oh, it says Dizzy. Okay. Okay, what? What is it, Dizzy? You remember the bounty hunter thing I made in the Nether, right? Kinda, yeah. I kinda remember it. What about it? Is it like a new business on the server or something? Okay, I think this is generating enough now. Probably. Someone put a bounty on me. Who would ever do such a thing? The joke is, you'll have to kill me, but you can't kill me if you can't kill me. So unfortunately, you won't be able to succeed that bounty. Also, this is all in Minecraft, on my Minecraft server that's on my Discord. This is all Minecraft related. You have a plan, I made it as a joke. Go on, go on. What is this funny joke? And someone is actually using it. Well, hey, you provided a service. People want to pay for the service, I guess that's an option. Unfortunately, I guess it comes at my demise. But that is unless I say no to it. You can't kill me without my permission. Okay, so I think I got that working again, so now that should be getting the smart plates moving again, I think? Okay, so now is the... There is like a huge thunder crackle outside my house. That's weird. Oh, Alexis is here and says hi. Hello, Alexis. Currently in my factory being a factory dude. Because you're streaming my... I was announcing it. Oh, well. Thank you for stopping by. I'm trying to think. Okay, so I got sidetracked because I needed to, like, fix a motor clog. So now I need to actually get this working. So I need... What did I need for this? I'm getting so sidetracked. I want to see if I can get this done today. I need... Scroll. Thermal... let's see. Cooling systems, I need 24 blenders. Okay. Let me get blenders out really quick. Just so I can make sure I look at the recipe correctly. So, cooling system, actually no, cooling device, that's the one I'm going to use. This one needs 60 nitrogen gas per, that's... Heard another thundercrack. Right, well guys, if I get trapped in a thunderstorm and then the miner goes out, you'll know why. I think I should be fine for it. Let's see, if I max this out, what happens? It takes 150 per... Which actually might be easier to distribute the nitrogen gas if it's just at 150. So I might just go with that. So I need, let's see, 24 blenders. 24 divide that by 2.5 is 9.6, which is approximately 10. So I'll need 10 blenders. All right, I'll start with that. Where do I want to place this? Actually, I think I'll place it here. I need to get a whole platform set up for this. Don't worry, I won't kill you, says Dizzy. I'll just find them and take them out. Wait, but you didn't fulfill the contract. You didn't kill me, though. It's weird. You can't just, like, say you're a hired mercenary, hire me and I'll go kill people or something and then not do it. That's like bad business. It was as a joke. Well, I guess, you see, knowing you would take that seriously, though. You've just been too serious about it for too long, and now people are thinking the jokes are real. Three, 4, 5. Alexa says, currently figuring out how to work with the Renprey images? What are those? I have no concept of what those are. Let's see. I'll do that. Just gonna look more. There. Okay. I'm smart. You joked about it for so long that people thought you were being serious. And then the moment you wanted to have it as a joke, people thought it was serious. Ah, pure comedy. Ren Prize, a comment sub for visual novels. Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about that over on the server last night. It does sound cooler as like a thing to get into. Just remember, it's good to experiment on these things, but have fun. Just have fun with it. Always have fun with whatever projects you do. If they don't go anywhere, you still did them. It's fun to do. Hold on there. This one doesn't have a connection. Hold on. No, you should be working. I did not notice that was not plugged in. Oh, jeez. But yeah, even still, good luck on like trying to figure out if there's a way to make a good visual novel interpretation. Good luck with it. Oh yeah. I remember last night I also mentioned. Let's see. I don't expect it to be perfect, but rather finish it and have it be half-assed. That's the spirit. Yes, half-assed your dream accomplishment. Did you know that Undertale was a half-assed version or a prototype version of Deltarune? I still think it's really funny thinking about Undertale as a prototype for whatever Deltarune became. That idea is just so funny to me. Anyways, idea. What? Dean, what if I made a data pack? What's the data pack? Please finish the thought. I want to talk about something that adds a crafting recipe. Keep it coming. It adds a recipe for tridents. Ooh. I actually would not be against that. That actually sounds really good because I hate farming for tridents in every way possible. So I might actually look into that. Also, adding recipes for stuff that already exists is like really nice because they don't like break whenever things update. Like out of all the things that break whenever updates happen for the server, data packs for crafting recipes never break ever. So I feel comfortable trying to do stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Plus, I made it. You made the pack for that? Oh. Alright, well, that makes things slightly easier. I'll probably have to double check and make sure nothing nefarious is in there. I know how to read code. But I mean, if you got it, I might look into it. All right, nitrogen's coming in. That is great. What do you mean nefarious? I mean in the aspect that there have been some cases of server owners adding in data packs that were disguised as like actually good features, but in fact they had malicious code that gave them like hacks or something. Anyways, I just wanted to. I say all that because I'm very cautious when it comes to adding other people's stuff into the server settings. I'm not that sick. I know you won't. I know you won't be, but I always have to take precautions whenever I do stuff like that. You know, like a good server owner would. Fair enough. It is very fair. I'm a very fair individual. Until I'm not. Alright, so, thoughts. Idea thing. Also, last night when Alexis was talking about like the visual novel idea, I did mention kind of bitten off passing that I wanted to make a game at some point. This was an idea I had for a while. I did want to make a game for a while, but I never had like a solid idea for what I really wanted it to be. Until now, because I got inspired by I got inspired by Deltarune's secret mantle minigame. The one where you have to get an S rank in order to actually get it. So how that game works is that it's a little Zelda-like RPG game kind of thing, where whenever you level up, you actually get stronger and can destroy map elements, and that's like a form of progression. And then it gets really, really interesting whenever you get to the point that you get so strong that you can break map elements that are supposed to stop, like barriers that are stopping you from leaving the map, and then you get out of bounds. Which I just really like that idea so much that I almost thought about literally trying my damnedest to make a game that has has that entire feature, but like a very expanded on. That's like the basis of the game. Problem at the moment that I have is I don't really have a story, but I don't want to really work on the story quite yet. I want to get an actual gameplay working first, of which I'm not actually able to do currently, because I don't know a thing about actually making games. So I need to at some point in my spare time figure out how to make a game, as well as like what engine I want to actually have it in. So I need to figure that out first. I probably need to like make a bunch of test demos just to see like, okay, can I get this to work? Can I get that to work? Blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking once I get it like working enough, like, oh yeah, here's a working demo prototype thing, like a proof of concept, at least this works, then I'd probably see if I can like take that anywhere. Like, okay, so now that I actually have this game, can I do anything with it? Can I add a story or something? Although one idea I had as like a really cool thing that like the main gameplay is that you do get stronger, but it is like a whole dungeon crawler thing. That like you're stuck in a dungeon, and in order to get out you need to break this barrier. But you can't break this barrier yet because you're not strong enough. Go deeper and go fight some stuff to get stronger. The thing is that you can leave probably around the like the idea that I have is that you can probably leave and win the game around the 3rd level or something like that. Like you're strong enough by the time you get to the 3rd level that you can get out. Yep, yeah, I crashed. But the idea I had is that you could just keep going deeper, and there's like several layers deep of it. That you could backtrack and go all the way back to the start and end the game. But you could also just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until eventually you get to a point where you do actually significantly get so strong that you just break the barriers that are around like even the 5th level of the dungeon or something like that. However, there's not much of a point in having destructible barriers to stop you from going out of bounds if there's not anything there. So I thought about, just as like an example, trying to have like some secret stuff hidden behind some walls that most probably for convenience sake might just appear wherever you're breaking out of bounds to, just to make it convenient, honestly. And once you do that, there might be like a very specific room that shows up after so many blocks that you've destroyed out and going out of bounds, and it gets you access to some items that are like very game breaking, or at least that's the idea that I had. There's also an idea I had for having like a whole game dev room locked behind just going out of bounds that much, and I actually think that'd be kind of interesting. Or, also, if I can actually get the story elements actually working to like a satisfactory event, I thought that would be what we kind of need. Is if that I just had like a self-insert character in there, kind of like how Toby does. You just have like a self-insert character in there, but have him as like a reoccurring hermit that just kind of shows up randomly. Asks you how your day is going and such. But then, if you do this whole out of bounds stuff, it turns out that that random hermit that you keep seeing everywhere is actually the game developer literally asking you, hey, how you liking the game? How's the freedom going, bucko? That kind of stuff. Anyways, can't really do that until I actually get like a proper prototype going, and I can't even get a proper prototype going unless I actually work on it, which I'm not able to at the moment. But that's all just like an idea that I had for a video game that I actually thought about making at some point. When exactly I would make that, I don't know. I'm busy. But now that's just in the back of my mind. And that shall be in the back of my mind until it becomes something in the forefront. Which might take a while. Alexa says I missed a part, Dean, my phone died. What parts? So I can try to summarize it at least. I somewhat remember what I was talking about. Where did you last leave off, Alexis? Do you remember what chapter you were on? Is that the game? You missed the entire game? You missed my entire spiel on the game part? Ah. Darn. Alright, well, okay, summary. I want to make a game in destructible environments to the point that you can at least, like, break the barriers that are supposed to stop you from going out of bounds. I would like to be able to make a game that actually makes that work, or like an entire system, combat system, stuff like that, secret bosses outside of bounds, or secrets outside of bounds as well. I think that would be really cool, but I need to actually work on that. Also, main thing that I think would be kind of cool is like a primary story element. You can leave at any time. You're trying to get out of this dungeon that you're stuck in, and you can legitimately leave at any time, or at least around the time that you get to the third level of the dungeon that you're stuck in. However, you could also just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And again, you can end whenever you want, but your curiosity makes you keep going deeper into a darker yet darker place. Blah blah yada. Ever tried Unity? I haven't, but I feel like for what I want to make, it might be with like Mike, turn down that volume. That's fine. For the game that I'm thinking about making, I might use something like Game Maker Studio or RPG Maker. It entirely depends if I can actually get the destructible environment gimmick working, because this whole thing doesn't work unless I have an entire world that is able to be destroyed on a pixel, on like a it doesn't need to be like 3D or anything, but just like something like that. I'll have to try RPG Maker. From what I do actually have RPG Maker, I just need to like toy around with it. But okay, the way for like the game to work is if I can have like a whole map that has destructible tile sets that will remain destroyed after you destroy them, like they're permanent installations. And they will eventually, the more you interact with everything there, things will become more corroded over time, probably. Everything gets more destroyed the more you interact with it, that kind of thing. Oh, by the way, do you see something weird? Look at this conveyor belt. This conveyor belt is weird. But yeah, that's an idea that I have. I'm just gonna have to do some testing around that. That will remain probably a dream project. Now that for me is actually like an actual dream project. What time is it getting to be? It's like 1:30? Good grief, I've been streaming for a long time. I think I started like around oh well, I think I'm getting pretty close to getting this done, so I'll try to finish this up. I believe. I believe... I believe in you, says Alexis. Thank you very much. It'll definitely be a thing if I can, like, work on it, I would like to do. It'll definitely it'll probably take a few years before I can actually get to that, because I am very pressed for time, and oh well, blah blah yada yada. I don't have all the time in the world that I could use for this, but I can make other projects for now. Oh, Sonic's back. Hello, Sonic. Welcome back. You just missed the thing where I talked about making a game at some point. Okay, a quick summary. Basically, I want to make a game that's like the Deltarune's Shadow Mantle minigame, but like a full-fledged game. That's like the main idea behind it. If I can actually get that working or not is in question, because that might take a while for me to playtest and actually get functioning. So it won't be a guarantee thing, but it will be a thing that I want to do at some point if I have the time and resources and skills. Skills is the other important thing. Anyways, you can go back a bit further if you want to hear like the whole spiel. Bruh. Let's see. Got images working, but the game is like, is it like buggy or something? Did you know that making video games is actually pretty hard? It takes a lot of time and commitment in order to make a video game functional. Because everything breaks. Sounds like a good theme for a game. And honestly, it honestly does. Like it's supposed to be like a progression limitation, but like it gets to a point where where's my heat sinks actually? Where do I have my heat sinks? I literally forgot where I had. Oh my god, it was back there. Shoot, I didn't need it. Sounds like a good theme for a game. I think that's what I thought. So I want to make something like that, but it'll definitely be a while. Imagine it. You get stronger by going deeper into a dungeon that you can leave at any time once you get to like level 3 or so. But because your curiosity makes you want to go deeper, or perhaps you think you're not strong enough to go deep, strong enough to exit yet, you keep going and digging, even though very clearly the barrier that's stopping you from exiting the dungeon is very visible. Or, oh, okay. Other thing that I thought about, once you actually leave the dungeon, there should be like an entire RPG adventure that you can go on. But on top of that, it changes or like the whole thing's like actually a full-fledged RPG that people could be missing out on if they kept like staying in the dungeon the whole time. That actually would be kind of interesting as a plot point. Like, you're staying in here for so long. Look at all this coolness that you're missing out on because you wanted to stick around and get stronger. You've missed out on all the story elements. And then also, ideally, if for whatever reason I can actually get the game built and it actually functioning, and I get a demo working, which is probably just going to be the dungeon part of the story, I also want to somehow be able to make the RPG world above ground once you leave the dungeon not just a full-fledged RPG, but entirely destructible. Which that's going to be a lot. Like, that's already asking a lot for something that like literally doesn't exist yet. But like that would be like what the end game of that massive game would be like. Definitely a thing that'll take a few years to make. But I can't start that without making the demo first. Anyways, yippee! I got cooling systems done. Ain't that hilarious, folks? Cooling systems. My vehicles are deadlocked again. God damn it. Did my vehicles get deadlocked again? I can't believe it. Can you believe it, folks? My vehicles got deadlocked again. I don't like it when my vehicles get deadlocked. They have no reason to get deadlocked. They just get stuck on pebbles. And they don't move. Alright, so cooling systems are up and running. Actually, no, these don't have... Why don't you... Why aren't you connected? It's because I'm not connected. Ah, I see. Let's see. Cooling systems are online. Okay, that's great. Very cool. Yes. Yippee! Cooling systems online. And that is, I think, the last part that I need for the thermal thrusters. So I got cooling devices. I got those automated. Modular engines, got that made too. Turbo motors, got that made too. And what was the last one I needed that I know I got already? Fuse frames. Fuse frames. All right. Next task, that will probably be the last one, is to get these 3 main resources over here all the way to the other side of the map. That's what we're going to be doing. So, I'm going to have to set up a drone port somewhere. Actually, that seems like a reasonable enough here. I'm going to start here. So this will be the main drone port export thingamabobber. We're gonna have... I forgot elevators were added into this. I forgot all about that. Let's see. Is it under logics? Where's the drones? There it is. Transportation. Let's see. I'll put it right there. Right in the middle of this. Let's see, what? Places image halfway through the screen, right in the middle of the screen. Down so far, it clips past the visible pixels. Beautiful. Do I just make the images bigger? I think it kind of depends on like how it renders the image. Sorry if that took a while to actually respond to. It depends on like how you actually render the image. You could make the image bigger, but if you're not careful, that could pose like a memory problem, like having to load in too many giant sprites, as an example. Let's see. Thermal, thruster, compo, drone, export. There we go. And so, I guess kind of like as a random example, let's see, for my Madotube thing, the actual character sprite is actually really, really small. And I had to use like this avatar scaling thing in order to, this is the actual size of the sprites that I'm using. If you can even see my little dude. He's in a cup. Anyways, so at least in here I had to like make him bigger, but the problem, there is also auto, which would probably work out, but there's like different sprites that are actually like different sizes, and some of them actually clip through the very top, like you can see like at the very top here, the antennas up here kind of clipping. And can you make your avatar a cup? I don't want to make myself a cup. I don't want to do that. That's weird. But, so like the antenna you can kind of see is kind of clipping up here, which is why I try to do this. So it could possibly be what you might need to do is like figure out how to scale your image better. If you try to just make the image bigger and then put it in, that's just more information for everything to go through. Like if you have everything in high definition 4K sprites, well now you have to load in 4K sprites, which for game performance is not the best. This is why you should try to scale up images. Maybe it could just be that you need to orientate the image more. That is my assumption. Huge assumption. Okay, let me make this guy not red, actually. I want to make him purple? No. Yellow, yeah. It's just a Microsoft Paint scribble. It can't be that heavy. Well, it depends on how big you make it, though. I'm going off of, like, no knowledge of how big you're actually making it, so... I mean, it could just be like a normal 512 by 512 thing, and that might be good enough. Actually, the TENNA sprites are like 100 by 200. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, I need to first off get this conveyor belt connected to a battery factory that I have over my reactors, of which is already making too many batteries for it to use, so I can just use that one for this. It's gonna be a bit of a ways away. What is this random splitter here? Okay, I guess random thing. So last night I thought it would be a great idea to play a little known game called Factorio, which I played Factorio like some time ago with a friend of mine that has played like a whole bunch. I haven't played Factorio in a while, but I just kind of felt like playing it again for some reason. And honestly, after doing so much stuff in Satisfactory, like trying to get everything as like perfectly engineered as possible, I have like a new appreciation of Factorio. Because one problem I had with that game is that it felt like I wasn't really working towards anything other than crashed shoot. Also, Factorio doesn't crash as much as this when things get large. I like Satisfactory. I like it a lot. I like the 3D movement and the ability to just kind of build a factory however way you want. I just really like it. But I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of realizing, oh, it turns out that everything's like super limited. Whereas, as a comparison, Factorio actually has infinite resources, but the problem is that the infinite resources are bound to these gigantic nodes that have like millions upon millions of iron ore, copper ore, that kind of stuff. But the problem is that you have to actually set up transport chains to get them hooked up to your factories. Whereas in Satisfactory, all of the nodes, while limited they are, output at a consistent rate forever. And I'm in a situation where I want to reach a ridiculous milestone of 60 items a minute of all the late game items, and that's an actual issue because there's not enough nodes on the map for that project. So I kind of had to like do some weird, crazy stuff in order to actually make it work. Which it is kind of working. Barely. But working enough. Anyways, over in Factoria, I kind of played it a little bit. Played like 4 hours last night. I liked it. Is it raining? It's kind of raining. Does it run? Will it run? Nah. There we go. I guess something else that's not really a deal breaker, but just kind of different is Factorio also has like fighting that you need to do. Because on the planet that you're on, there's like these creatures that will destroy your base if you're not careful. So you have to kind of manage like a huge factory that's whole purpose is to try to manufacture a huge rocket that will allow you to get out of the planet that you're stuck on. Am I running out of these? Oh, I might be. Uh-oh. Oh, well. Oh, well, indeed. Oh, I think it's because some stuff are deadlocked, and that's why things aren't being produced, and that's why... shoot. Anyways, point of Factorio is to trying to make a big rocket to escape the planet that you're on, using all of the world's resources and exploit them to the fullest so that you can make some pretty cool factory and get out of the world. Or you could stay. Like, staying is also an option. And completely convert the world to whatever whims you desire. I also don't think I'll be. I don't think I'll play or stream Satisfactory. I don't know for sure. Or I'll stream Factorial, sorry, because that just might be Satisfactory 2.0. And I don't think there'll ever be an end to the Satisfactory or Factorial.
Why are there so many factories?
I don't think there'll ever be an end to a Factorial playthrough, so I don't know if I want to do that. But there feels like there might be an end to the Satisfactory one, which is why I'm playing it. Let's see. Nice. Every day I understand a bit more just how much effort it takes to seem alright. Everything I do, let's see, complimented on what I appreciate is stuff that I've been working towards for years. I'm not that good, so I'm trying new things. Very humble. Oh, I'm kind of with that too. Just like trying out new things, trying stuff that you don't normally do, and see like, wow, I didn't know that it took this much effort to do that. Like, I have a huge appreciation for animated work because I tried to do animation for a little bit. Like there was a couple projects that I did where I actually did like a couple good animations. Problem, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think they're cool, but I think I could have done better if I was more skilled. Oh, wait, very important.